Welcome to the InStory Show, Soul Story World. I am Devorah Spilman, your host, and today I'm thrilled to welcome InStory expert Paula Brown. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Devorah.
So our theme this season is how to come out of hiding and dare to be seen for who you really are so that you can live a life you love and leave a legacy by saying yes to your soul, trusting your intuition, and telling your story. So, all right, Paula, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, and what you do in the world.
Hello, everyone. Kia ora. It's wonderful to meet you here. My name is Paula Brown, and I live in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I am a soul-spirited poet and also a leadership coach and a learning and development practitioner. And I love to work with leaders to help them transform their own practice and find their signature leadership trail. And I am loving being on InStory and extremely happy to be here and share part of my story with you all.
Well, it is such a joy, Paula, and you will all see why. So, all right, well, look, you know how I just love people to tell their story. And when we talked in preparation for this, a whole part of your life opened up that I hadn't heard about before. And I was like, Paula, this is your second show, and I never knew this. Because part of what happens as we open up, we find more story becomes available to be told. So, when we talked about what does it mean to say yes to your soul, this opened up a whole world for you. So tell me, what does that mean? How has that been part of your life, saying yes to your soul?
So, Devorah and everyone, saying yes to my soul, it has been a journey. So I've noticed in all these different ways over my life that I've had to say yes to my soul. And these have all had a theme of 40 nights and 40-day experiences. And these all had to do with saying yes to my soul.
Wow. Okay. So tell me them. What happened? Tell me the first one.
Okay, the first story is I was married and I was sitting in my office chair one day at work, and I got a phone call from my husband, and he said, "I need you to come home. I've just had the results from my blood test and I've relapsed and I've been given 6 weeks to live. I need you to come home."
Wow.
So that first experience was
Hmm.
my husband had leukemia. He'd been sick for 2.5 years, being diagnosed after, we'd been married for 8 months.
Wow.
And then the 40 nights and 40 days was the exact period from that time I received that phone call until he passed away.
Wow. Wow. And so what happened from that? What did you do to survive that and to get, like, what was the saying yes to your soul part of that? Like, what did you do?
Hmm. So after he passed, I had a little period of time where it was in grief, and it was very hard, and I felt like I could have very much had more support. But I decided at one point I felt a calling. I needed to go and do something, and I decided. A woman invited me to join a nutrimetics group and learn how to apply makeup and learn about the inner beauty and outer beauty. And that was really powerful for me. That helped me get up. That helped me get up physically. It helped me move back into feeling like I was a beautiful woman again. And an extension to that, an expansion to that, I then began to help other women find their beauty
Hmm.
through makeup. I learned how to apply that to other women, and it was a whole community connecting with women and enjoying the beauty of being beautiful.
And didn't it include some physical work, physical stuff to include that part too?
Yes, so that was the second piece for me. I also decided to join a gym, and I began loving the physical activity. It can be really hard to get back up again when you experience a deep grief like that. And moving your body is really important. And so that gym work was looking after my body, cherishing my temple. It was also community again, meeting with other people and having fun, listening to music, and just immersing in that activity. And again, I expanded on that. I then became a aerobics instructor for 6 years, and helped helped other people to love that experience.
So
It's really
that
beautiful.
was like, so that was this first sort of set of these days that really, what struck me is that it really came this physical sense. You had to start at the ground, kind of. You had to regain your beauty in your body, and your outer body, your inner body, and you helped others. So, all right, well, so then I'm like, how did you have 40 nights? Okay, so what's the second one?
Okay, the next 40 days, 40 nights and 40 days experience was I remarried, and a number of years later, I decided that things weren't going so well in the relationship, and I had a beautiful girlfriend gave me a book, actually. And those times you have in your life when just the right help comes at the right moment, unexpectedly. So this beautiful girlfriend, Dorothy, gave me this book, and it's called One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. And it was a book that helped you go through 40 days and 40 nights of personal growth and spiritual growth. And it was really beautiful. There were daily practices to do, and that helped me, when I got through the end of that 40 days. Actually, speaking to my soul gave me the confidence to know that my soul was wanting me to move on from that relationship.
And so that led you to being able to leave that, like to get divorced, to leave that marriage.
That did. Yes, that did. It was a little time after that I left, but that was the initiation of what I call into the beauty of spiritual growth and connecting with my soul. So that was like an elevation from the physical and the beauty that helped me connect with my soul. And I loved this. The essence of what the book would be, if I could share that with you, is like, if you take one step towards the light of spirit, spirit will take 5 steps on your behalf. And the practices were the beautiful to honor the divine, to honor yourself, and to honor others, and to honor how you feel. And then it was about your process, and how you bring those spiritual practices into your life. What is your process in bringing that in? So that was connecting with my soul and elevating me.
I love that. Really beautiful. All right. So now there's a third one. What is it?
So the next one was very, very exciting. It was a calling, an adventure, and an awakening to go to Africa. So I went on a holiday, which was 40 nights and 40 days on this beautiful experience, this beautiful land. And there were a couple of profound things that happened while I was there. So the first one was, I felt this calling. And in one of the national parks we drove up to in a combi van, and I saw the sign at the entrance gate, and it had writing on it, "Take nothing away with you except nourishment for your soul, consolation for your heart, and inspiration for your mind."
Wow.
And I knew in that moment what that calling was, why I was there. And it was really beautiful. It was the only national park where there was fresh running water springing up from the ground. And so there was symbolic things there for me on that journey that I found very soulfully powerful. And the second moment, I was sitting reading a book called Rules of Your Wild from Francesca Marciano. And at the end of that book, her words were, when the plane lifts her wings, you leave behind more than a continent and a land and a heart. What waits you at the other end of your journey will be a new order of your existence. So, yeah, lots of beautiful things in Africa, lots of challenging things to see in Africa. It was an elevated journey for my soul. Mm.
So what I want you to talk about is like, why did, as we started working on this interview, part of the InStory experts, you all watch and get a little insight into how things get created when they didn't exist before. Paula's been with me for quite a few months and I didn't hear any of these stories. And so talk about what you're creating now, because I think that's what led you to seeing these 3 life-changing times in your life that all have these 40s in it, but where's it leading you now? Like, talk about the new project that you're working on, and this 40-day thing is still there too.
I'm working on a beautiful project for the divine feminine, and it is about creative emergence. And the essence, the heart of that is about finding your soul voice through poetic expression. So the 40 nights and 40 days, it's this model that I'm creating in the work and a program, and it's in essence a symbolic representation of journeying 40 nights and 40 days and offering a new way for personal transformation and spiritual growth to move through portals of like, beauty, sensuality, mystery, and peace from those elements of like physical beauty to spiritual awakening and spiritual elevation through those portals, and focus on the free gifts at the end. When we talk about that, I'll focus on the mystery element, and symbols are within the mystery element.
So, okay, but so let's back up for a little bit and just talk about, we talked about doing an example of what poetic expression is, because we had a funny experience of it when you were sort of telling us about it in our InStory call. So give a little bit of an example of the difference between speaking in regular English and poetic expression English, since I don't understand the other language, so.
Thank you, Devorah. So this is a couple of examples for you. So in English, we say simply, I create. In poetic expression, we say, I create from the winds of my heart a mountain.
I create from the winds
of my heart
a mountain. We were laughing about the way we express ourselves uniquely, and I was like, she's like, things just roll off your tongue, Devorah. I'm like, things just roll off your tongue, Paul. Big part of InStory is finding what is your way of doing something. So, all right, that's beautiful. Give us another one, because then you're going to get to play with this, as part of Paula's free gift and in your own mind, because it's super fun. So give me another example.
Another beautiful example is in English, we say, I miss you. But in poetry, we say, without you, there is a hollow space inside me that will never be filled in my heart.
Yeah. But what if I just miss you a little bit? I think that's the whole thing, is that there's different qualities of emotion that get expressed, because I miss you can mean a whole bunch of different things. So okay, give us another.
Another one. In English, we say goodbye. In poetry, we say, I'll keep you tucked away in my heart for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I think it would be really fun for people to try it out. Like in English, we say, I see. And in poetry, we say, I'm beyond the vision that I had yesterday.
Yes. Absolutely beautiful, Devorah. Yes. And the thing I love about poetic expression, it is an art, it is like art. The beauty of it rests inside the heart of the beholder. So yeah, expression is very personal and very intimate, and it gives you that pathway, that opportunity, you're connecting with your soul and allowing your soul voice to express from those deeper parts. And those words, those expressions will come when we sit in silence and when we connect in sensual stillness. And when we call upon our soul, now is the moment for expression. It comes, you will know.
Well, and I think it's another version of really accessing your creative intuition, because when you have to do anything that's in the moment, then that's a really fun thing to do, and not to spend a lot of time on it. Like if I want to say I work, which is a thing people say all the time, I work. So in poetic expression, it might be I shape the unseen into forms that are new. Right?
Absolutely
Like,
beautiful.
so I want all of you to try this. Like, it'll be in Paula's gift, but it'll be fun to try it in our Facebook group, and that, like, a simple, verb statement of some sort, and then how you say it in poetic expression. Because I think you're right, Paula, that it's like sometimes little tiny things give you a window into a whole other way of experiencing the world and experiencing yourself. And you have to be a little brave to do it, because I'm like, well, Paula, you do this. So, we all do that to each other. Oh, you do this already so beautifully. And so yeah. So I think it would be fun for people to try, because it's such a simple thing. So, okay, lead us a little forward into kind of what you've created in your free gift and what that means, like why you created it, what it is. Like, tell us a little bit more about this work that you're creating and where it will take people.
So the work I'm gifting as a free gift, firstly, is Creative Emergence, and there are three parts to that. So firstly, there is a guided process for self-discovery, and that is to draw your sacred symbol.
Not to draw it with your hand, like, oh.
Yes, to draw that with your hand.
So you're going to go through a guided process to how it comes to you, and then you're going to draw it?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes, after you listen. So that will take you through a self-discovery journey of mystery. So you go through the portal of mystery to find your sacred symbol, and that will take you into a special place for your sacred symbol to arise. Okay. Yes.
Cool.
And then afterwards you draw your sacred symbol. And then the second gift is a oracle card, which is about mystery and symbols, and it is a way for you to let yourself remember your symbol and to meet your symbol daily.
Beautiful.
And then the third gift is a reflection activity for you, invites you to write a poetic expression about your symbol and what your symbol means to you, what it could mean to you, how powerful it is to you. So yeah, that will be another way for you to immerse in mystery and your sacred symbol.
Oh, I have not done this yet, so I want to do this. I'm like, I want to know what my sacred symbol is. Oh, I'm going to write. Seriously. So I can't wait to see. I hope you all get it. Share, and if you're brave, you can share with us in the Facebook group something about it if you want. But it's like has this deliciousness about it. That to discover the concept of your sacred symbol, which you could do again and get another sacred symbol, and to write about it, and to see where it leads you. I just love this stuff. So Paula, say a little bit about how has InStory kind of helped you with getting some of these bigger ideas and beginning to shape them and seeing how they go together. Like, I would love for you to talk about it a little bit, because often people watching are going, how did you do that?
I joined InStory in August 2023, and I hadn't created anything in my mind about what I've created now. I began a couple of months before the first summit, and that was absolutely wonderful. So going into doing the deep work that we do each week helped me, with Devorah's guidance and everybody in the group, to shift, and then to shape the first part of this creative work that came to me in those first couple of months. And that was that first summit was an expansion on some personal transformation work I had done back in 2021. There's a link. And back then it was dance in the forest. And then after the summit, we continued to do this deep week every week, deep work, and going into spiritual imagination. And then what arose from there was this model, and it is about the divine, taking the divine feminine symbol and expanding her beautifully in a way. And the central part of the divine feminine symbol, there are elements, the key elements, which are calling portals into peace, sensuality, beauty, and mystery. Mm. So all of these elements are spiritually elevated and have deep meanings in different ways. They're very symbolic. So, and then I expanded on those 4 portals with 8 elements in each one. And again, those elements in there are supportive for spiritual growth and also, personal transformation, and giving ways to find your soul voice in poetic expression with these elements. So it's an introductory. It's a way for a divine feminine woman, to connect with her soul and start expressing these elements. And there are other parts of that program, that will be journaling, and also, having an oracle card and talking and expressing, because our soul voice is about writing, reflecting and writing, but it's also about speaking, having our voice spoken and honoured and listened to by other people when we are ready, when we want to move into the elevation.
So this is like a big thing you're creating, right? Like it's a visionary.
It is visionary.
Right? Like,
yes.
Say just a little more about, like, sometimes we have things that are a larger vision, so it's not done yet, but has pieces that are done, right? When we talked about it, it was like, okay, you're not offering this giant thing. No, you're going to offer this piece that's like transformational, that people can actually do right away and experience a real opening. But what is the idea of this larger concept that you're creating?
So my other work in leadership for women, this vision came to me as an expansion of that work. And in leadership, women often, don't have time to step into this creative emergence, this soul elevation work. So this offers people, a way to get up from things that are hard and challenging in their life. Is a way to help leaders, experiencing burnout. It is a way for women in general, to find their soul voice and express that. So it is an expansive way, and it will lead people through a journey from physical, to the spiritual, and moving into the realms of creative emergence, into the other realm. Yeah, creating from a deeper level.
It's such an important area, because so many realms have leadership stuck in just this one concrete. Think about it more, do more tasks. And so it's very encouraging to me when I see you and others creating these much more expanded consciousness programs for our leaders, for people who are leaders in companies and so forth. It
Yes.
allows us to have a real shift, to create a real shift.
Yeah. Leadership is very theoretical. There's lots of models and techniques, but this is another level. This takes you into your soul, and into that creating for yourself. Yeah.
So, well, I am excited about the bigger picture, but in the meantime, everybody's going to get a super cool thing to do, because you're going to get a guided process to help you find your own personal sacred symbol and to write about it, and to see where that leads you, which is really, I think, such a great experience to have. All right. So before we wrap up, leave us with a last few thoughts of inspiration.
Really live into your true, creative, soul-spirited, divine feminine nature. And I'll leave you with that thought. If you take one step forward, the light of spirit will take you 5 steps on your behalf, on your journey. So yes, for everybody, live well, create. We are creative beings, and creating is the river beneath our river.
It's so true. And I think we get so often trapped into the sense that we have to comply, or we have to get approval, or do it somebody else's way, or do it the right way. And everything you're doing is really about reversing where it emanates from. Like, how do you access your own, like, I love the called Creative Emergence. How do you let that emerge from your own energy, right?
Yes. And my journey has been an example of that, a representation. These stories of my 40 nights and 40 days. And that has led me into creating in a different way, in a more elevated way. And it's a journey. And creating is something beautiful that we are made to do.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting to me. For me, leading InStory is to lead other people to find their own voice and their own way. And so watching your own creative emergence emerge into creative emergence, like so wonderful. And I hope all of you watching feel inspired to get the free gift, to share with us what's your symbol, to connect with Paula, and to trust this calling on your soul, whatever it is. So Paula, thank you so much for who you are, what you do. It's really inspiring. And everybody else, remember, take this all in and then go out in the world and share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.